Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Between the Stars. It's a game that will be coming out in demo form on the 12th, alongside their Kickstarter. It's by Isolated Games, and they have provided me with a key early to take a look at the game. So I thank them greatly for that, but you should also know that for full disclosure and all those things. And right now, this is the demo that will be released on the 12th as part of their Kickstarter for everyone, for everyone to play around with. And I'm going to play through it. So I'm going to play through the prologue. It's the prologue chapter, and it kind of shows off the game and its mechanics. It's very reminiscent of Rebel Galaxy in its controls. It's more of a naval starship combat thing. Actually, it's part Rebel Galaxy, part Starpoint Gemini. It has a little bit of Starpoint Gemini in it, but more like Starpoint Gemini 2, kinda, sorta. And it's a roguelike with permadeath, so we'll be getting into it right now. Without further ado, let's go in. But before I get too far into it, though, so before we get into it, let's look at just very quickly at the options here. There's a turn and roll controls in the game, and I'm using the keyboard and mouse for this. I've already played through the prologue once with disabled the switching to turn and roll controls, and it's not bad, but it's weird. So by the switch turn roll controls, what you're saying is to turn in a game, you use Q and E, and W and S go up and down, Q and E go left to right, and A and D, which would normally be your left to right thing, actually just roll the ship. It's not bad, but it felt weird the whole time I played it with it. So I'm going to turn the switch roll, the controls here enabled, which I think I hope, it doesn't have any text here, but I hope it will switch it back to WASD, which is something I'm more used to from other games. So we'll see how that works here. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump in. And we'll take Jane Scott. You can do James or Jane Scott. They are an admiral. And you're going to see some fairly high-level characters right now because it's the prologue, but it's all explained. You'll see what happens towards the end. I won't spoil it for you.
Alert. Systems damaged. Warp drive pressure increasing.
Crew, boost warp drive to full power!
But Captain...
I said full power! That's an order!
Redistributing power. Capacitors charging in 4, 3...
Just a bit more.
Warp successful.
We've made it.
My damage analysis.
Starting damage assessment protocol. Testing main engines. Moderate damage. Engines operational. Testing navigation systems.
Okay, W and S, A and D, yes, A and D are now moved left to right, which feels a lot better. WS up here, and then Q and E is to rotate, which is what you're used to if you've played any games like this.
Navigation systems operational.
There we go.
Testing power systems.
Alright, and over on the right-hand bottom corner, you can see our power. The green bar is the position of my mouse wheel, which I need to turn the sensitivity down here. There we go. So you can see when it's red, we're going in reverse. When it's green, we're going forward. Various things. I'm just moving the mouse wheel up and down. And then we've got power systems there. We've got engine, weapons, and shields. And use the arrow keys for that. So here's some more into the weapons. Here's some more into the engines. And here's some more into the shields.
Power distribution correct.
There we go. Which works out well.
Captain, we're detecting warp signatures in the vicinity.
We've been followed. Prepare for attack.
Now here's one part that I think I understand why they've done this, but I'm not that digging it too much, and that's you gotta hold down X to look behind you. If you don't do this, you're limited in how far your camera can spin. And I think I understand what they're going for there. Like, they don't want you to ever lose your orientation. But I feel like if I could offer a suggestion here, this doesn't feel great because you got to hold down this X key to look back. I would hope that maybe they could switch it around where I could spin 360 degrees and maybe hit X to reorient the camera to the back behind the ship if I ever get lost. Because holding this down like this is not fun, so I end up like spinning around and just kind of keeping my forward eyes on them. Speaking of which, we need to get in here and destroy some ships. Now, it is really difficult to see if you're going to hit anything. But I guess that's part of the charm, too. It will give you a little indication, like a little X will show up when you do actually score hits on the enemies. Like that, right there. And then that's our weapon, our overheat meter over there as well. Another thing to note, I'm going to hit 1 here, which will give me superpower on my... I don't have to worry about my guns overheating for a short period of time. Now, one thing I want to note, it is a little bit difficult right now to determine exactly where you're getting hit from sometimes. Like, obviously I could look over at the shields and see what percentages are going down. But a lot of the bullets coming in are so hard to pick out, and I have a feeling it has something to do with the shaders too. Like this weird sort of blurriness going around here. So it can be a little bit difficult to tell exactly what shields are getting impacted and where the fire is coming in from. Because as you can see, they're doing some damage.
Captain,
that's down.
Reinforcements incoming. We need more firepower.
Okay, let's see if we can around here. So we can fire off a nuclear missile at these guys with our 2 key. Now, the thing with the nuclear missile is I've never been able to hit anything with it. It's kind of got a mind of its own, and it's never been all that useful for me, but I do use it on occasion, but it kind of just flies off and does its own thing, and I never can tell if it's going to hit anything or not. Go. Okay, we're taking some hits here. Let's get some power over to the shields, I think. Alright. Only some basic maneuvering here. Let's do 2 again, and let's fire off the missile and see if it actually hits something this time. See, as you can see, it like kind of curls off and does its own thing, and I never know if it's actually going to hit anything or not. Okay, our rear shields are doing okay. Our forward shields not so great. I'm waiting for my abilities to come off cooldown. That's my abilities tray over on the left there. Oof, don't run into space rocks if you can help it. Now, the icon for number 1 is hard to tell whether or not it's actually off of cooldown or not, so I hope they plan on changing that. Because the cooldown indicator is a red...
One of our shields has fallen.
...is a red bar. Now see, here's... I'm getting hit from behind, but I couldn't really tell I was getting hit from behind until the shield went down. That's why I'm saying, like, when you get a lot of things going on here, it's very hard to tell where you're getting hit from. Let's back up a little bit and Get a full-on barrage here. Because what I would like to do in an ideal world is I would like to face my...
Good work, team. Is everyone all right?
Captain, I've determined this news will cause a decline in crew morale of 64.7%. But I must inform you that the enemy bypassed our shields. 2 casualties confirmed.
Alright. So, as I was saying there, like, you can see my port and starboard shields are at 100% still. And I would love to be able to angle the ship so that those shields would take damage, but it's so difficult to see exactly how far I have to go to angle it that way to get the firepower that's coming in to hit that side, that it becomes it's a tactical thing that you should be able to do that it becomes very, very difficult to judge. So I hope that in the real version of this, they'll maybe improve your sense of where incoming fire is coming in from, and like being able to really target the shields the way you want it to. So, or at least be able to balance it in such a way, maybe even give me like basic maneuvers like I can give to the navigator and be like, hey, keep this shield to the port or whatever. But anyway, we can loot things. There are loot boxes in the game. Okay, and then I'd open the inventory. And we got an uncommon salvage pod. With some credits and some materials. There's all kinds of things you can do in the game. We're going to get into quite a lot of it. They actually go through quite a bit of it in the prologue here. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot more than it looks like. We'll show it more as we go.
System analysis. Critical. Repairs needed immediately.
All right. What's our current position?
We are currently in the Thames 6 sector. It is on the outskirts of the Interstellar Republic's headquarters.
We should be able to reach it using our drive engines.
Preparing warp drive.
So normally the game would tell me what kind of... It popped up little icons there saying what I got, and they were both common loot or little like notifications. But normally you have an audio cue. It'll tell you what you got. I don't know if it's not queuing the audio because I don't know. It was normally pretty good about it. I don't know if it's just because I'm in the midst of a mission thing here or what. But anyway, I want to grab all the loot that we can. This is a little bit weird and difficult because you kind of have to do these sort of not tight maneuvers, but you have to really get your mouse cursor on that. Ooh, that was a rare. That was a rare one. I am picking up all the things I can because these are very useful. I have noticed some bugs in the demo. Obviously, it's a demo. It's an early demo. They haven't even had a Kickstarter yet, so you know, be kind. I'm going to be kind to them because it's you know, what's here is still really fun, and the game is completely playable right now. The prologue is, so it's not detracting. The bugs that are here are not detracting from the game. They're just weird things that I saw. Like for instance, and I don't know if I'm going to run into it again, so I'll mention it now. There was a loot box I picked up that gave me access to a hull repair drones, and I had this ship after it's repaired a little bit later here, and it would not allow me to mount that on the ship, even though I had a green mount point for it. So I don't know if that's just a weird bug or if it's something that's just not implemented yet in the demo, so that's why you couldn't mount it, but it's in the loot boxes just so you could see that it would be there. I don't know, but in any case, it's some common stuff. Okay, so let's and actually I might have jumped ahead a step here because it probably is going to tell me to loot all those things anyway. Let's hit M for the map. Now, the map is, everything is procedurally generated, I believe. It's all randomly generated anyway. So it's a different game all the way through. The map camera movement is strange. So you hold down the right mouse button to move the camera. Unfortunately, it's reversed. I don't know why they reversed it, but in order to move the way you want to move, you got to do the opposite of what you think you got to do. So, what did we want? Tacit Stella. We are here. Yeah, here it is down here.
Warp drive engines damaged. Jump impossible.
My. Which is the closest space station in this sector?
It's the trade station and Terra's port.
Okay. Set in the coordinates.
Coordinates set.
Alright, we should get a little green pop-up here. Yep, it's over on the left. There we go. And then we have like an inter-system jump, sort of. The quantum engines. So hold down or press space.
My
charge them up.
situation report on Anteros port.
Accessing database. This station serves as a crucial hub for business tycoons and mining sector speculators. It has a large port specialized for trade freighters that return full of materials from mining settlements. They also swear they have the best beet soup recipe in the universe.
Now, the one thing the game doesn't tell you, which I found out through trial and error, is that you don't have to, everything is very,
Captain Scott from the 5th Republic Fleet here. We request docking permission.
Station control tower here. Dock at the assigned bay. Over.
Receiving coordinates. Establishing communication. Docking protocol prepared.
So, what the game doesn't tell you is that it will automatically drop you out of warp when you're near a port. So you don't have to do it yourself. There's a lot about this game that's kind of slow and lumbering, which is cool because it's sort of like a naval combat thing. But I was doing I'll drop out of warp here and then I'll ease my way into the dock. But really, it will automatically do it for you. So you just need to point yourself in a direction and it will do it for you there. Now the docking is manual up until a point, so you do have to have some finesse, I guess would be the right term here to get it to where you want to go. So we want to go to dock 1, and the docks are randomly chosen for you. But once you get the docking light to show up green, all you gotta do is stop and wait, and it will auto dock you. There's also it's hard to see because of how they've done the treatment here, but there's a little sort of light there that says whether you're going too fast or going too slow. Right now we've just hit the green light the way I'm supposed to, so now I just have to stop and wait. And there it goes. And control and shift, left shift, move you up and down in the Z-axis. So you discover a great commotion aboard around the freighters on the station when you exit your ship. You hear shouts from all angles and merchants bidding over increasing numbers of merchandise. Your crew and yourself leave the freighters behind and search for a repair workshop. You find yourself looking at the neon lights when someone bumps into your shoulder. You look down. Ouch, that hurts. It's a scruffy young woman who begins to collect spanners and metallic objects of all sorts she's had on her. She tries to steady herself. Sorry, I wasn't looking where I was going. No, it was my fault entirely. Oh, excuse me, Captain. I'm so sorry. My name is Susan. I'm the head of the Pulsar Ship Repair Workshop. What can I do for you? Well, we're looking for a repair shop. You walk together to the docking bay where your ship is located. Susan rubs her eyes incredulously. No way! A KP-564SC warship. It's completely totaled. How did you manage to... Susan sighs deeply. Alright, we could do it, but it won't be cheap or easy. Repair cost highly exceeds your credit accounts. After negotiating, you agree to handle a series of tasks for her in return for payment. In the meantime, they shall give you a completely operational ship. Susan, you know where we can find a transmission room? Of course, Captain, there's a transmission bay in the next district over. I can show you the way. Large space stations often have a transmission system highly superior to that of normal ships, allowing for cross-sector communications. You walk through the station until reaching the transmission bay, where you encounter 2 guards. After identifying yourself, you're allowed to pass and spot the transmission crew busily sending coordinates and data to nearby stations. You are granted a terminal in order to send a situation report to the Republic. Captain Scott here. We're transmitting from the Anteros port station in Sector Thama 6. Captain Scott, we were expecting your arrival 2 Earth days ago. Yes, sir. We ran into problems. We were following the trail of a slaver network in the Lithobia 1 sector. We infiltrated their base and obtained a crucial part of their information that you asked us for, but our scientists are still unable to decipher it. During our retreat, we were ambushed by an assault fleet. We thought we had left them behind when we arrived at this sector, but we were intercepted. We finally managed to finish off the enemy ships, but 2 of my crew members have lost their lives and the Genesis was practically destroyed. I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. We'll give them the sending off they deserve. What is your ship's current status? Currently is inoperative. As soon as it's repaired, we'll return to headquarters for the Stellar Summit. As one of the most experienced captains of the Republic, your presence... that should be your, not you. Your presence is requested as head escort and reception of our guests. Every governing body of the universe shall be present and will set aside their differences in favor of a new era of peace and prosperity. Alright. And give it a moment and we'll get to our next tutorial here. The space station panels where all offered services are presented. The crew section will be able to hire different crew members, blah blah blah. I'm going to talk about that myself here. So you get this sort of combined view when you're in a port of call. And here we got contracts that are available for us, basically missions, various repairs. This is very, very like FTL sort of roguish, where you can just repair a little bit, repair a lot. You gotta maintain your hull integrity and all that stuff. And you got the store here. Now, I found a little bit of a problem with the store. So you can sell things back to the store, but apparently, and I don't know, maybe there's a different button to expand this or not or something. But apparently you can, in this case, there's only 3 empty slots, so I can only sell 3 things back to the store, and everything else I would have to hold on to myself. I ran into that later on in the prologue when I have a lot more things I want to clear out of the inventory, and the store just would accept more. So I don't know if that was intentional or if it's just a limitation that they put on the prologue here just to get something out and working. But anyway, we can take on the Anteros freighter contract, which I'll read this in a moment after I've... Oh, it actually fades out. How about that? I was going to say, I'll read it in a moment when I can read it, but I didn't realize it faded out like that. In order to repair the ship, we'll need an ion reactor. This wouldn't usually be a problem if we had the needed materials, but this isn't the case. We haven't had any news from the space freighter E-32 pulsar repair ship in 2 Earth days. Our crew isn't answering any hails, and their last coordinates show it nearing an asteroid field known as Anteros Cemetery. We need you to find them. Objective, investigate the area and recover the cargo. Alright, accept that contract. And we have 2 dead crew members. You do have to manage your crew members. You can buy new ones. There's none, as far as I've seen in the demo, that you can buy. But you do have a crew that you have to maintain as you go through. So we're going to hand over these corpses so that they can make for funeral arrangements. Specialist Andreas Zimmerman served valiantly on the Genesis under the orders of Captain Scott, served with dedication and devotion to the Interstellar Republic, will be remembered for his honor and pride. So there's that. And Kim Hyung Yoon Shin served valiantly, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Make a funeral for them and send them off. So your dead crew stays in your inventory until you actually get rid of them. So, you know, you want to do that just to make room for things. And here's all the boxes, the loot boxes we picked up. Now, you can do one of 2 things. You can either open the loot box now, or you can throw them into your stash. And I believe the stash is actually a shared stash amongst all the what's the word I'm looking for? All the stations, I believe. So you can either do it now, you can do it then. what's the difference between doing it now and then? I believe since there's permadeath, if I were to open these up and then die, I think you lose all of this stuff up here, including all your credits. So I think, I'm not sure, I haven't done it yet, and I don't plan on hopefully doing it, testing it out, but that's, I believe, why they have a stash here, so you just kind of stash things away until you want to use them or until you have inventory room to use them. I'm going to open up some of these commons. In fact, I'm gonna open everything up because I'm pretty sure I can make it through the prologue without dying. That's how confident I am. We got a shotgun Mark 1 out of that, and this rare one. More resources. These are all various resources: crystals, calcinite, quantum cores. There we go. And open this one up. There we go. And then the final one. More credits and resources. You say, what are the point of these resources? Well, I'm about to show you. So first of all, we can buy some cannons for credits, and we can buy ion reactors and things like that, radar, dishes and all that stuff. But let's look at our systems. So you see, they gave us a temporary ship to help us out while our ship gets repaired. And we'll use this for a little bit, and then eventually we'll get back into our main ship. But you can see it's got light plasma cannons, light cannon of Republic, and here's the hull and shield damage that these things do and what their accuracy is, and so on and so forth. The accuracy and all that stuff is determined by your crew members. So yeah, I have 2 specialists here that are level 11. You can see they're all pretty high ranking things. This is a prologue after all. Our engineer is actually leveled up so during that battle, so we have a point that we could use. And if I upgrade systems, we'll get a plus 0.15% increase in the movement and hull. Crafting helps out with crafting new devices, craft to level 6. And scrapping increases the scrapping devices, reduces scrapping time, and material gain, probability of getting blueprints by 4%. I guess we could try. I think the ship's movement and hull would be better served with that. So there we go. That's our upgrade for her. And then we got 2 scientists here. You can see what the level they are, and then we have 2 vacancies on the ship. And you say, well, what do all these guys do? Well, we got departments, and in here, and there's some. We'll be using this a little bit later with some of the missions, but you have things that you can research and blueprints you can research. There'll be people in sick bay and stuff like that. Workshop, where you can scrap some things, and engineering. The scrapping workshop tends to work with raw materials more than it does anything else. But if you want to scrap weapons and stuff, I think you can do it. And then engineering workshop allows you to build things from the blueprints that you find along the way. So if you don't want to buy something, you can spend some time actually building it out of the raw resources. Here's our task list, basically our contract list. You can see the one that we have taken on. So we'll go back to systems real fast. And what we got? Light plasma cannon. I got a shotgun Mark 1, superior quality, 60 hull damage and 15 shield damage. So this is really for punching through the hull. Now what do we have? This does 30 hull damage. This does 5, but this does mostly shield damage. So I have 2 things that do mostly shield damage, and I have 1 that does mostly hull damage. So what I'm going to do is swap this guy out for this one, since this guy is a hull damaging machine. And the upgrade for him costs 200 blue stuff and 25 green stuff. So we're going to do upgrade it to Mark 2. You can see now it does 73 and 18. And we can actually upgrade it once more. So Mark 3. So there you go. 90 and 22. That's rather good, I'd say. Hull damage way off the charts. And we've got a cloaking generator on here, which is not a true cloak. It's more like a visual cloak. It makes you harder to visually see, but you don't actually disappear. So we can actually upgrade that too. Let's do that. Upgrade that to Mark II, just so we have it. And I don't have enough to upgrade these other cannons. That's okay for now. Pulse generator, mine launcher. The pulse generator. See, this is interesting because I didn't have a pulse generator last time. I had a damage absorber and a mine launcher. So even the stuff they've given me is different. So that's interesting. And then we've got our nuclear missile launcher as well. Let's see what everything costs on that. And then this light cannon of the Republic, we can go sell that off and get some credits for it. So there we go. All right, let's enough me kicking the tires. Let's go do some things. Let's go light some fires, and we'll exit.
Everyone to their posts. We must find that missing freighter.
Captain, do you think it could have been an attack?
It's strange. If it had been an attack, the security systems would have asked for a security detail from the station, and they would have come to its aid.
They could have used a signal inhibitor to cut communications.
The asteroid cluster where the ship was seen doesn't correspond to any commercial route. Decree M22, under Republic law, restricts commercial routes in order to guarantee the safety of its freighters. This behavior would be a direct violation of Organic Space Law 412, Section 2/08.
So another little suggestion here is when we're in warp like this, I feel like they should pull the instead of pulling the camera out like it is, they should pull the camera in and make it really look spectacular. Because right now it's kind of, you feel very detached like this, and it doesn't feel as badass
The freighter's last known coordinates, Captain.
as it could
There
be.
doesn't appear to be anything here. Mai, can you scan the area?
I detect irregular radiation readings coming from the middle of the cluster.
Let's take a look.
Alright. And we'll come on up to this little proby thing with the icon over it. Slow down
Captain,
a bit.
we found the source of the radiation. We should proceed to scan.
Affirmative. Mai, prepare the analysis module.
Preparing the scan system.
Alright, right mouse button to scan.
Scan complete, Captain. It's a fragment of the freighter's calibration reticle. I am 98% positive that the damage and radiation emissions confirm a plasma cannon attack.
This looks like the result of an attack. Mai, can you follow the radiation signature?
Comparing samples. Similar readings found in nearby coordinates. Establishing route.
So something else that would be really nice, I know that there's only 4 levels of forward and backward of power that you can do as far as speed is concerned. But when you're docking, it would be really nice if there was a key that just stopped you, like backspace or something. Because I have found sometimes where I'm like, it's a little... sometimes have trouble kind of managing my speed a little bit. Speaking of, let's get some speed on here. And this weird, this static that they put on here, I know it's a style thing, but I really hate that. I have turned that off on so many games because it's
Captain,
just,
we're being hailed.
I hate it.
Shall we accept the call?
Affirmative.
Ex-Pleo, commander of the Starship Insurrection of the pirate fleet here. I order your immediate retreat. This frigate is now under our control. Surrender or we'll open fire.
This is the captain of the warship Genesis of the Interstellar Republic. I demand you halt your activities immediately.
Captain Scott? Of the warship Genesis? In that hunk of junk?
You asked for it. Crew to arms!
Alright, let's try not to hit anything while we maneuver through here. Ooh, I managed to actually hit that guy with that with that missile, that nuclear missile. Let's get a little more shield power here and weapon power. Bang! Hit him with the shield down like that. That works out really well. Fire another nuclear missile off. Ooh, that works so well. I look almost like I know what I'm doing.
Correspond to the fighter we've been searching for.
We have to look for survivors and confirm the shipment was in fact stolen.
Preparing to...
Alright, let's get the salvage from these guys. Alright, we got another uncommon there. Let's get some speed on here. So you can see it's like a slow naval combat thing, much like Rebel Galaxy, although I feel like Rebel Galaxy was maybe a little less lumbering than this. Not that that's not a knock on it, it's just it does feel very slow and deliberate here. And if I may offer some things here, I'm hoping that the Kickstarter does two things for the game. One, I hope it gives them enough money to hire some voice actors, because the voice acting is not great. And two, hire a musician, because while the music is okay, it's really not relevant for what's going on. Like, I like to hear something that's maybe a little bit more specific to combat and maybe have some dynamic music system in there, because something like this kind of demands that, you know, I mean, to kind of pull you in and into the world and stuff. But anyway, you enter what's left of the freighter as the bay doors close behind you. Within it, you find the remains of what used to be an enormous commercial freighter. You can see all sorts of supplies and objects on the floor, accompanied by what was once their crew. After some time searching the corridors, you come to a passageway with two possible paths. Go to the right. Your crew and you advance through the corridor you've chosen. The further in the ship you go, the more you get the feeling that you're not alone. After a while, you reach another crossway. Go to the right again. After walking in circles, you arrive at a hallway and a bay door that opens in front of you. Through the door frame and still within the darkness, you're able to make out a faint light. Let's enter. As soon as you enter, the bay doors close and the lights turn on. At the end of the room, you see the raw protonite shipments stacked in rows that emit light rays of light. A robotic voice surprises you. It seems to be the ship's My system. Intruders detected in the loading bay. Activating security protocol. Opening evacuation bay doors. Halt. We are the crew of the Genesis of the Republic. The AI waits a few seconds and begins to speak again. Opening suspended. Validating credentials. Error. They are intruders. No, I am Captain Scott. We are here to rescue the freighter. The AI system hesitates for a few seconds. Establishing analysis. Probability of intruders not being identified as intruders 100%. You hear the servo motors of the evacuation bay doors screech. Okay then, we are intruders. 0% probability that the intruders are identified as intruders. Establishing analysis. Error. The AI begins to calculate probabilities while it seems confused. Only someone who isn't an intruder would claim they are. If the intruder claims it is an intruder, probability protocol incompatible. As it exclaims different errors, you hear the voice shut down due to a logic error. The bay doors close. You're now out of danger. Well, mission accomplished. Load up these crates onto the Genesis. And we got some raw protonites.
Let's go back to the station to inform Susan.
What kind of pirates assault a protonite freighter just to abandon it?
X-Player's weapons do not correspond to the radiation we've been following.
Captain, the coded data seems to follow the same pattern obtained in the slaver's base. Our team can't undertake an investigation. We haven't found enough matches.
Alright, back to the station with us. And there's a couple different modes too. There is a photo mode in the game, and I think it's actually there is actually a quest that will ask me to take a picture. So see that in a moment.
Request permission to dock.
Station control tower here. Dock at the assigned bay. Over.
Receiving coordinates. Establishing communication. Docking protocol prepared.
Another thing as well, and I know that this might kill some realism, but it would be nice if we could auto dock, or at least have that be something you could turn on or off, because it does get a little old after a while. Let's use our docking thrusters to get us over here a little bit. Spin this way a bit. How are we doing here? Let's go down slightly. There we go. You can see it says stop there. And then you gotta wait for an interesting amount of time. I feel like maybe you shouldn't have to wait for like 5 seconds. Because sometimes you're like, did it work? Is it not working? After arriving at the station, you go to the docking port where your ship is located. In it, you spot Susan, who rushes out to meet you. You've returned. Have you found anything? Susan looks at you expectantly, waiting for an answer. Yeah, there weren't any survivors. Susan looks shocked by the news. After a few seconds, she recovers and begins to speak. That can't be. I knew the pilot ever since we were kids. Were you able to recover the cargo? Yep. Well, at least there's some good news. Our crew is currently heavily invested in repair work. Since you need the ship as soon as possible, maybe your engineers could help us. Could you process the protonite slabs and fabricate a new ion reactor? Of course, we'll get right on it. Okay, and then we gotta give it a second here. There we go. You obtain your first blueprint with it and the specified materials. You can create the blueprints object in your task panel. Let's go in here and I'll show you what that is all about. So go to departments. And we have to go to the scrapping workshop. So click on this, and we got this protonite that we grabbed. So I'll scrap that. You get 5,000 protonite out of it. Well, 5,000 is the base. Now, if I add a crew member, you can see it tells me what their engineering skill is. So her scrapping skill, Wanda's scrapping skill is 4, and Anna's is 7. So we're going to take her. And you can see because she has such a high scrapping skill, we're getting instead of 5,000 base, we're getting 5,350 out of it. So got a little bit of a bonus. There we go. And now we have to go fabricate an ion reactor. So we'll go to engineering workshop. And here's the ion reactor. You can see it takes 200 protonite and 100 synthetic mindesite. But that obviously is also affected by the skill, the crafting skill of whoever we choose. So Wanda has better crafting skill, so we'll put her on there. We could put both on there if we really wanted to, but it's not necessary. And you'd see 200 and 100. Build it. And there we go. Normal quality we got out of it. Alright, well, there was a possibility of getting a higher quality, but we didn't. Susan examines the ion reactor closely. An excellent job. With this, we'll have everything we need to finish the repairs. I have another favor to ask you in the meantime while we finish things up. Speak with me when you're ready to go. And we gave her our ion reactor. And we have 2 more loot boxes. Let's open these. There we go. Actually, 3 more loot boxes. I didn't notice the other one there. Heavy laser. Heavy laser. Open. Now, as far as I know, I couldn't put this heavy laser into the stash. Like, the stash seems like it only stashes salvage pods, not anything else. So that's the other reason why you kind of be like, if you have maybe a rare or something, you might be like, all right, I'm at a point where there's a good possibility that I'm going to die, so maybe I'll just stash this away for the next run or something. So, heavy laser, we're just going to sell that off for some credits. There we go. Take the inspection. We've stopped receiving protonite shipments after the attack on the freighter. We can't guarantee the commercial route's security to the mining stations in the sector. Inspector Howard Higgins must fill out his forms immediately. Transport him and evaluate the station's status. So we'll accept that. Let's also, before we go, upgrade wherever we can. So upgrade all the things here. Upgrade that. And upgrade that to Mark II. And what do we got? Pulse generator. We can upgrade that. And we shall. Mine launcher I don't really use. Cloaking I don't really use either. I guess I'm not going to bother with the mine launcher right now. I'm going to end up selling that off once we get to the back to our old ship again. So I believe we are good to go then. So let's get out of here.
Well, we have a long way to go. We should depart. Engines on maximum drive.
Unauthorized order. You lack bridge privileges.
So now I have a babysitter? Is the Republic sending you to watch over me?
It's a matter of security, Mr. Huggins. The last protonite shipment was assaulted.
Captains are not what they used to be. If a pirate ship attacked me, there wouldn't be enough space for them to hide.
We're sure of that.
Alright, just taking a little hop, skip, and a jump over here. And like I said earlier, you don't have to worry about dropping out yourself. It'll drop out manually. You do have to worry about, I believe, hitting things. Although I think it might actually avoid stuff. I haven't been brave enough to try it.
What the hell? These transport ships are not ours.
It seems they found a more interesting intermediary than your company, Mr. Huggins.
This can't be. We have to register this immediately.
Alright, and here's the photo mode. Let's actually, let's get into a better position here. Slightly better position. Before we take a selfie. A ship selfie. Right there. Sounds good. So let's move the camera around a little bit. Let's get a nice little view here. And then once you get a view, you can lock it in with the left mouse button. This almost looks like the Normandy 2 from Mass Effect 2. With the color scheme and stuff and the way that sort of angles around. Let's go this way a little bit. No, kind of liked it in profile a little bit. I wonder how can I go up? Here we go. Trying to get just the right angle. I kind of do it like off center a little bit too. I like to shoot my camera off center like a gangster. Alright, we'll do that. And now we can work with the exposure. Contrast. Let's go back that way a little bit. Field of view. Ooh, very nice. Very nice indeed. And then the focus. Keep both things in focus. That'd be great. And then far radius. I'm not sure exactly all of these things. You can see where we're at with that. It's not a bad picture, so let's take it. And there you go. It saved it down into my general folder. And now we can get out of photo mode, I believe. Somehow. I'm not sure how to get out of it. I just hit escape and continue, but...
When the foreman finds out, heads will roll.
Okay. Now we've done our little flyby here. Let's get powered up and ready to go.
Captain, we have to go back to the station now.
What happened?
I forgot my lunch.
Mr. Huggins.
False alarm, I found it.
Captain, there's no sign of activity on the station.
It looks completely abandoned. We should dock and discover what's going on here.
I'll stay on the ship. Covering your backs.
Alright, let's go down a little bit. Let's slow up a bit too while we're at it. It is beautiful. Very beautiful game here. Artwork and everything. Now I believe my docking port's on the other side, but we'll have to... You should do it like cars do the gas on the dashboard. There's a little arrow next to your fuel gauge that tells you where your gas tank is. They need to do that here. Tell me where my docking port is. There we go. Oh, I guess no. I guess it is on this side. Okay. The dock bay doors open and the captain and his crew arrive to a great reception hall. It currently only has emergency lights on that show the remains of broken furniture strewn around the floor, forming large mounds of rubble. Alright, reactivate the generators. Search the chamber for an energy terminal to reestablish the systems. After a few minutes, you find a room that contains generators. The head of the engineering team comes near you. Captain, we've detected an anomaly in the generators. We could use the remains of one of the destroyed machines to make them work again. Alright, go ahead, try. The engineer's capacity of craft isn't high enough to guarantee your success. The engineers look over the damaged generators and then quickly begin to argue over the cause of the blackout. When they arrive at a consensus, they collect different objects that are later placed randomly in the damaged area. Amongst the different tests the engineers make, one of the objects short circuits and electrocutes one of your engineers. Alright. Without being able to reestablish electricity, we won't be able to advance. Let's head back. So, that was interesting, because the first time I did this, my engineers had enough capacity to that I actually won that dice roll, and they were able to go through and actually explore the station a little bit. So there you go. There is the RNG.
We looked over the station. There are no survivors.
But this can't be happening.
We have to inspect the last station.
I think I've had enough. We should head back.
This oversteps your jurisdiction, Mr. Huggins. You can come with us, or you can stay here. You decide.
This is an outrage! You guys are kidnapping me!
Preparing the jettison hatch for immediate exit.
Alright, fine. I'll go with you.
Did he Elmer Fudd me? This is an outrage. An outrage. Wascally wabbits. Anyway, yeah, like that was an interesting. So I got a negative turnout that time, whereas I had positive the last time. So wasn't much else we could do there. Didn't get anything for it, or any scrap, or anything, or any cargo. So onwards and upwards. That is what happens. Random events. You finally arrive at the last station. After hearing Inspector Huggins' complaints the entire time, you can't wait to finish the mission. Everything looks calm on the station when suddenly a group of ships appears in the area. They are pirate ships. You recognize ex-Pilo's emblem on their hulls. Maybe they want revenge? There's no time to lose. You order your crew to prepare to defend the station. Everyone, to your posts.
Captain, the station is under attack.
I told you we should have gone back.
We can still turn the ship around.
Control yourself, Mr. We won't abandon any innocents. Crew, stay alert. We'll hold off the enemy attack.
Sir, yes, sir.
Ooh, they go boom pretty good, don't they? I'd say that missile hit pay dirt. Ooh, I am hurting big time here. Wow, how did I get down to 48% hull? Oof, okay. I wasn't really paying attention, I guess. Nice, we had some help. Oof, alright. After the skirmish, the mining station's directo, thanks you. Thanks, Captain. Those pirates appeared out of nowhere. They wanted to keep our protonite extraction. We're lucky you arrived when you did. Alright, you're safe now. You calm the station director by promising him that you will alert your superiors so they can send patrol ships to his own. He graciously accepted help with a gesture. Are these attacks normal? Director responds in a nervous tone. No, this area is usually very peaceful, but the past few days there have been a few skirmishes between pirates and trade ships. This exceeds any other incident we've had to date. Do you have any other useful information? Yes, the director, if he has any relevant information that could shed some light on the pirates' intentions, he responds, I have no idea what they could want besides our protonite. Although an attack of this scale, it just isn't logical. Oh, wait a minute. Director disappears from the visor, only returns a short time later. I've been informed that we've recovered an encrypted transmission on one of the ships. Maybe it'll help you. Corrupt data. Thank you, Chief.
Captain, the corrupt transmission corresponds to the rest of the data patterns.
Is it possible to begin an investigation, Crewman Burton?
The science team currently believes we have enough data to decode everything. We will begin right away.
Understood.
So here's where the game gets really cool, in my opinion. I can hit I here to go into my inventory screen. And I can assign people to do things while we're out here. So, research lab, grab that research. And investigation seal 3, 6. Let's get 6 on there. Go do some research for me, please. Now, in the prologue, you won't see much here. It doesn't actually increase until a set time, but it's cool that it's even there. We can work with it. So there you go. And then all of my crew members are still here and accounted for. You can see some attributes for my captain and whatnot, but we haven't made enough experience to go
done. Let's head back to the
station. Next level yet.
I think I need a vacation.
Meantime, I'm going to scrap some of these guys. And we got a common salvage. I'm going to spend the time necessary to scrap them, because the salvage is very, very useful. Also, I didn't even notice that we were down to 25% hull. I don't know how that happened. I guess I didn't notice it earlier. Or maybe someone got a really lucky shot in on me. But again, that's situational awareness, and I think that kind of proves my point a little bit that the situational awareness sometimes is a little bit lacking right now. Like, it would be nice if I don't know. I feel like the flashes and stuff, even though it flashes red when your hull's taking damage and all that stuff, I feel like it's too generic. You know, like, it doesn't help you determine a course of action so easily. Although there's, nice flourishes and touches here and there, it's still, I hope that they work a little bit on maybe that situational awareness stuff, so give me a few more tools to help me see what's happening. as we go here. And this guy can be scrapped. Let's grab that. There we go. Alright, very good. And looks like there's one more just over yonder. And of course I can open these up while we're in transit too if I wanted to. But let's just make sure we get them right now. Almost there. Almost. Okay. There we go. Alright, now we can head back to port. I also should have taken some time to find out what my thing is there. Oof, let's not hit that rock. I don't know what number 5 is, that number 5 ability. I know number 4 is the cloak. Number 3 is the mines. Number 2 is nuclear missile. Number 1 is fire without any cooldown necessary. Let's see what number 5 is. Number 5 doesn't have a tooltip, so I have no idea what 5 is. It's gotta be one of these things, right? Mine launcher, pulse generator. It must be the pulse generator. Duration 11 seconds, cooldown. I don't know. I'm assuming that generates an electromagnetic pulse that disables other ships. I'm assuming that's what that does. Because there's no tooltip for it, so I have no idea. None whatsoever. So we'll have to go with that. I mean, I'll have to try it once to see what it does. I'm not going to try it right now, but I'll try it. Well, I don't know. Do we still have this? No. I think this is... We'll be done with this ship, so I probably won't have it in the next ship unless I have free room for it, so... We'll see in a moment here. I like the sparks coming off the ship, too.
Republic ship requesting docking permission, please.
Station control tower here. Dock at the assigned bay. Over.
Receiving coordinates. Establishing communication. Docking protocol prepared.
Alright. Put some power over to the engine so we can hurry this up a bit. Alright, and we're stopped. And there it is. Okay. Oh, so I guess I do have docks on both sides of the ship. I don't know. Once back at the station, Howard says his goodbyes with few words and leaves the group. Susan comes up to you with a more cheerful demeanor. You're finally back. Inspector Huggins looked a bit out of place. Did everything go well? It's best not to ask. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Susan looks away a few seconds but recomposes herself and resumes the chat rapidly. In any case, we have good news. It was tough, but your ship's repairs have been completed. I guess this is goodbye. Don't be strangers and come visit us if you're ever back in the sector. Alright, yeah, we'll see each other again. And before we go...
Captain, our scanners detect multiple signals in the area. Maybe we should investigate them before warping to Tacit Stella. Perhaps someone needs our help.
Alright. Thank you for that. Let's go to the store real fast. And, what we got? So we got all the weapons that we had on the other ship. And all the outfits that we had on there. So now we got our big ship again. Interceptor laser, flak turrets, interceptors. So the interceptor lasers help intercept incoming missiles and things. So they are good to have. I didn't have them last time. And I kind of need them for the next mission. No spoilers or anything. The shotgun is fantastic. So we're going to take this one off of here. And we're going to put this one on there. Nuclear missile launcher is fine. Light plasma cannons, nuclear missile launcher here. I have extras. Gatling, light cannon of the Republic. So we have, what I have here, light plasma cannon Mark II. So we can replace this one with this one. And this one with this one, since they're Mark IIs and these are Mark Is. The cannons we can upgrade. Let's do that. Well, I at least upgraded one of them anyway. The other one I don't have enough stuff for it. But I might have some stuff for it. Let's open up some of these salvage pods. There's no point in me saving them up because we're at near the end of the prologue right now. And plus I need the resources. There we go. There's some more resources I need. Let's upgrade that guy. And open this one up. Okay, more of them. Let's open. That just had credits in it. Okay, and our nuclear missile launcher, I don't have enough for that, but that's alright. Shotgun we can upgrade fully, and we shall. The flat cannons, let's upgrade those. And I want to make sure I get these interceptors upgraded, because I will need them. Well, at least have one of them upgraded. Okay. Clocking generator is not really going to help that much. I mean, it'll help a little bit, but not that much for where we're going. And pulse generator, I have no idea what it does. So here's what I'm saying about this. Like, I can only sell one thing here because there's only one spot left, which is weird, but it doesn't seem like this expands out at all. So what I'm going to try to do, I haven't tried this yet, so I have no idea if this is going to work. But I want to see if I could scrap. Ooh. Oh, that's showing me everything. Oh, that's not good. Is that... How do I know which one is on the ship and which one isn't on the ship? Normal, flak, missile launcher. See, that's not good because I don't know which ones are on the ship or not mounted. Alright, I guess we're not going to do that because I don't know... Well, I know that this cloaking generator is not on the ship, so let's see if I can scrap that. Okay. A 26% chance of blueprints, so that's a thing. And what else do we have here? The mine launcher. I can scrap, so let's do that. You got the best scrapping skill, so you stay there. Mine launcher. Scrap that. 26% chance of blueprints. You can get a blueprint though, as far as I can tell. Is there anything else? Nuclear missile launcher Mark 1. This is Mark 1 as well. Light plasma cannon Mark 1s. Because these are Mark 2s, right? Alright, so any Mark 1s that I see. Doesn't really tell me if that's a Mark 1 or not, does it? How do I tell it's a Mark 1 or Mark 2? It doesn't tell me, does it? Alright, they're gonna have to work on this a bit. To let you see things that are equipped and not equipped. Because it's hard to tell if I'm hitting the right one or not. Because I don't want to scrap something I've already put on the ship. The pulse generator is not equipped, is it? No, so I can at least do that one. I know that one's not on there, so we'll scrap that. Here. Whoops. Inventory. Oh, can I drag from the inventory over? Well, that's weird. That's a weird look I just got here. Wait a minute. How did I get that? I don't know how that happened. But it happens. Go. Alright, so that's about all we can do there. Oh, I see. The inventory is still here, it's just hidden. So it showed up because I... Oh, that's weird. I wonder if the inventory is meant to stay there so you can drag things? Let's see. No, I think I've bugged it out. I think this is not supposed to. I see what's going on there though. There's a few minor bugs. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, I think nobody has to level up either. So I think our best thing we could do now is to undock. Now, there are 2 side missions, as you can see, they have shown up there, suspicious activity and distress signal, that I could take on if we wanted to. But I'm going to leave that as an unseen thing so that you guys have something to look forward to when the demo comes out. Instead, I'm going to go right to the end of the prologue here by going to my map and jump into the Tacit Stella sector.
Captain, the investigation has finished. We've been able to restore the transmission we picked up in the slavers' headquarters. I think you need to hear this immediately.
Nartos, Fleet Admiral of the Children of the Sun here. Situation report, Commander.
Commander Explio from Lithobia 1 here. All preparations are complete as per your orders.
Perfect. The Galactic Summit is nearly upon us. The wrath of the Children of the Sun shall fall upon the Interstellar Republic.
I can't believe it. We have to relay this as soon as possible.
Understood, Admiral. Although there's something that worries us. A captain of the Republic is snooping around the sector. We followed him after his warp jump, but he destroyed our ships.
Take care of him as soon as possible. Now is the time for us to control the mining and commerce network. Send a pirate fleet and make sure that the protonite mining stations are under our control and that none of the Republic stations are supplied. Break their will, and if necessary, kill them all. May the sun light your way, Commander.
We'll keelhaul them all! Explio out!
Alright, let's get to the Allied station and we will trigger a cutscene. I've got my power allocation the way I want it. I hope it keeps it that way. I'm not sure if it will or not. So we'll see.
We welcome you, captains. The reception is awaiting you on the docks. All representatives and diplomats shall be escorted to the Senate chambers, where the summit shall begin.
I don't think we'll be having that summit, Admiral Xiao. The Children of the Sun no longer receive orders from the Interstellar Republic.
What is the meaning of this, Nardos?
For centuries, the Children of the Sun have been subjected to the whims of the Republic. That time has come to its end. We order your retreat and complete demilitarization of your strategic points across the universe.
We've looked out for the security and common interests of the universe for hundreds of years. We won't cave into the scare tactics of a few bloodthirsty savages.
Just a few, Admiral? We've been complacent for too long, but that's over now. The Children of the Sun will no longer be led by an unworthy puppeteer. It's time to cut those cables and strangle their detractors with them to the last.
Admiral, this is high treason. Opposition to the Republic like this means a death penalty to anyone who supports your rebellion.
Negotiations have ended, Xiao. Surrender or die.
Not us. Be reasonable. This means war on a universal scale. Millions will die.
The decision has been made, Xiao. May the sun light your way, Admiral.
Alright, it's on. And let's do the best that we can here. Hopefully, the best we can is pretty good. We'll see. I've got my power allocated the way I hope it will work.
Captain, our shields have been damaged. We won't hold out much longer.
The Children of the Sun are attacking the headquarters. Our shields
Okay.
have fallen.
Yeah, my rear shields are down already. Which sucks a whole lot. See, I do a lot of damage once I get their shields down. Just a matter of keeping them off my tail
Children
here.
of the Sun are focusing all their fire on the station.
The chances of the station resisting this attack are 0.057%.
See if that missile finds its way. Okay, where am I getting hit from? See? There we go. Getting hit from behind. He's down for the count. Oh, forward shields are not good. We got our nuclear missile back up though. Let's fire that off.
Captain, the headquarters is at a breaking point.
Maybe I'll get a couple of them with that blast. Ooh.
Structural damage to the headquarters rising. Explosion imminent.
Oh, this cooldown. This
The
cooldown.
armor around one of our engines has been destroyed.
The space station has been destroyed.
This can't be. You'll pay for this. Do you hear me? You will pay for this, even if it's the last thing I do. I'll get you if I have to follow you to the end of the universe.
Captain, snap out of it. We need you more than ever now.
Alright, this guy is next on my list. Have a missile. If I got it off, hopefully. I think I got it off. Alright, he's down. I lost the station. There's not much I can do about that. Oh, this guy, that was one of our guys down, not the guy that I thought was down. Alright, who is shooting at us? I wish there was like targeting reticules and stuff. I really do, because then I could like say who is targeting me and target them so I can actually like highlight them so I can see who's doing what here. Because it's so hard, like there are like little blue numbers and stuff there showing, like I can see their whole numbers, but the little blue numbers showing their shields are so difficult to see that they might as well not even be there. do another missile. And let's do this. Fire everything. Maximum fire. Alright, come on. Come on, give me some kind of... Oh, jeez, this cooldown is driving me insane here.
Captain, there's a fire in the reactor room! The pressure readings are off the charts!
Burton? Burton! Answer, damn it! Bastards, you won't finish us off!
Captain, we've lost the propulsion engine.
Heavy damage to the ship. Status critical.
We're fighting the good fight here. Fighting a good fight. There's a lot of guys here.
Get away with this, Stardust. The Republic will prevail.
Captain, Admiral Shinnow's ship.
Admiral! All captains, focus fire on Narco's ship. We can't be allowed to leave you alive!
Captain, engineering workshop has suffered a massive breach.
Alert. Alert. Decompression imminent.
Crew member Diaz, leave the room immediately. That's an order.
Sorry, Captain. It's too late. I have to close the doors to avoid the entire ship's decompression.
Don't do that, do you hear me? I forbid the closing of those bay doors!
Landing block activated. Closing bay doors.
It's been an honor, Captain.
No!
Getting there.
I'll end you, Narcos! Mine, redirect all power flow to the cannon.
Change in security protocol requested. Confirmation required.
Captain James Scott of the Interstellar Republic, ID 4128C. Deactivate protection protocols.
Crew security protocols have been deactivated. Captain, systems will not support the overcharge. The probability of death is 100%.
We cannot allow the children of the sun to get away with this. My full power!
Yes, Captain. Life support offline. Defense systems offline. Redirecting power. Power at 110%. 250%. 500%. 1000%.
For the Republic! My situation analysis.
Systems completely destroyed. Crew dead.
I see. So this is it, right?
MAR system. Protocol error. Damage.
Easy. I'm here with you. Rest, Mai. Rest.
Well, there you have it, friends. Between the Stars. That was the early access demo. It is coming out on Kickstarter September the 12th. You'll be able to, I believe, if you go to their Kickstarter page, you'll be able to download the demo and play it for yourself and play the parts that I didn't play, which wasn't much, but it's still something to look forward to. And Yeah, looking forward to their Kickstarter, as well as looking forward to the game itself. I've been kind of following them around and seeing what they're up to. So I like what I see so far. I'm enjoying the game, despite all the little criticisms I have. Those are things there to try to help them come up with something really good and special and fantastic. And so far, they've got a lot going for them. So I just to recap here, this has been Between the Stars. It is by Isolated Games. I received a key for this demo early from the developers, so keep that in mind as you're looking at things. They have a Kickstarter coming out on the 12th, and it's been a roguelike RPG, a roguelike space naval combat basically game with permadeath and a whole universe to explore, or whole solar system to explore. As always, I will leave links down in the description that will take you to both their Kickstarter and more information from their website, and they have a Discord and a few other things I'll drop down there so you can go take a look at it for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.